You have to have an investment mindset. Some traders always are looking at cost. So that's a cost, that's a cost. They don't look at the opportunity on the other side of that cost. And these stories that will echo into the newer traders of 20 years' time of this period that we're having now, if we do get an equity offer. And that opens up instability. The Federal Reserve, the global central banks have to react. My gosh, it's exciting to be a futures day trader now.
So Alex, off the back of the copper trade in that week, we also had NFP, of course, on Friday, and we saw some really big numbers, on the desks. And I know that you've had some good conversations with some of these traders as well. Can you talk through some of those performances and what some of these conversations were that you had with these traders?
Hey, Peter, whenever we see a big number on the risk screen from the traders, it's the big number is really again that end point that isn't as vital as the system, the framework, the process that got the trader to that point. But one of the things that I've been reflecting a lot upon, like seeing some of those traders who performed really well the last non-farm payrolls, like really big six-figure numbers, in the multiples, and discussing with a couple of them. One common denominator, and these are the very experienced traders. Junior traders, all struggle. They just need to see more sample sets, plan better, have the experience. But some of these senior traders, and something that I want all traders, whether you're part of the firm or not, all senior traders, is how are you investing in your game? And what I mean by that is, at the end of every year or at the end of every cycle, what are you doing to invest in your business? And one of the traders who did incredibly well on non-farm payrolls has always been quite a pioneer in understanding how to invest in his trading business and on how to invest in technology. When he was a junior trader, when he first acquired a 100K account, he committed to a Bloomberg terminal for 2 years. A lot of senior traders think like, oh, that's a little bit too, expensive to start only with a 100K account. And he always understood, well, what is the return on that investment? And is every single trader asking themselves, once they've achieved edge in the market, they're becoming profitable, they have an account, how are they asking themselves, which parts of my business I'm investing? And we have traders who have performance mindset coaches. We have traders who have clinical psychologists, traders who have personal trainers. You almost have like the modern day tennis player who has a team of 10 people to support him at a Grand Slam tennis tournament. The future and the future trader, the next gen trader is the one that thinks of all parts of his business. And all parts of his business includes his health. If the markets are incredibly busy, how is he resetting his physiology? How is he ensuring that he can be at the desk for 10, 12, 14 straight hours? How is he looking after himself, diet-wise? But some of the traders who did incredibly well on this past non-farm payrolls have also invested heavily in technological infrastructure. Some traders have their own developers that are, beyond the company supporting. At Axia, we have a development team to develop new assets for our traders every cycle to enable that human excellence with technological excellence, and it's a part that we investing in heavily as a firm. But traders will also have their own niche areas. We take care as much of the collective. Individuals want to take care of their own niche areas. And so some traders have a development team behind them, designing elements to have greater awareness or greater bandwidth to see opportunity in the marketplace. And so I would love, for our traders on the desk, for traders out there who are making money, how are you investing in your business? And do you have a board meeting with yourself every year of where am I directing my excess P&L to make me better on myself as a human experience and the technology landscape, and what future do I see? And that ability to see the future, as Angus Fletcher, I love this word, to be able to see the future faster, is a product of your planning, on your ability to sit down, write down, reflect, draw upon what you've learned of the past year, where there was slippage in your game. And how do you enable both to build this team around you to excel at the very highest level? And actually, I am with the technologies that we're deploying for our traders over the next 12 to 24 months, we're in search of helping develop the first 9-figure-a-year trader. And it is incredibly possible with the awareness, with the knowledge that we have about ourselves, the exponential growth of information. But it's, again, there's lots of noise out there. The skillful person is able to navigate that noise, knowing what to understand themselves. And so watching that non-farm payrolls and knowing there were a few traders who are leveraging technology to be more efficient in how they make P&L in the markets. And that's what's exciting. But you have to have an investment mindset. Some traders always are looking at cost. So that's a cost, that's a cost. They don't look at the opportunity on the other side of that cost. Is there alpha between the two? Just like any business, your trading business is your business.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly right. And it's, going back to what you were saying, how some traders have, psychologists. It's just like sports athletes, right? We are athletes of the financial industry at the end of the day. And these footballers or tennis players or golfers, whoever, they have dietitians, they have all these people, psychologists, again, all these different people that round their game to be the peak of their careers and of the industry. And it's the same with our traders, and it's good to see how traders are doing that within our space. And that's what I like to think as well. That's what it means to be an Axia trader, because you're not just on your own. Yes, you are yourself and you're trading, but you're part of not just a collective for the sake of the word, but you have a team. You have risk managers. You've got a risk team behind you. Some of them have their own psychologists, people to talk to, guidance coaches, and to have all of that to in your reach, as well as technological advances that we are also developing in house, as well as things that they're going for. Yeah, it makes them be that same pinnacle of their industry.
Yeah, and I think what's incredibly exciting, and talking about, we've obviously had this Trump 2.0 era that started in November. And what I think is so exciting in the future space, and exciting from the effort that you put in versus the opportunities that could come your way, is significant at the moment. But what's even more exciting is that we've had Trump 2.0, we've had the equity markets at all-time highs, and we've had great opportunities. Normally when the equity markets are making new highs, VIX is usually incredibly low, opportunity sets are lower, it's more of a grinding P&L environment. But we have had huge opportunity even with the VIX lower and the equity markets grinding higher. And that's always been the power of a narrative where there is a president that upsets general consensus, the stability of our time, of the stability of what has been in the old world for such a significant time within politics. And what does that mean for our traders on the desk, all futures traders out there? If you are driven to develop in the market now, it is so exciting, because if the equity market, we've had the equity markets, sell off for the last couple of days. Imagine that we've had all this big opportunity with this low VIX. Imagine the VIX picking up with a president, some of the geopolitical climate that we have. We could have one of our most prolonged opportunity sets, that you'll hear the stories in 15 years' time of traders, and these stories that will echo into the newer traders of 20 years' time of this period that we're having now. And why I'm so excited as a firm, and I think firms out there, if they're smart, they're reinvesting wisely, they're pushing the boundaries, traders are understanding the sense of occasion. Junior traders might not. Junior traders might just start making money. They slip off their process thing, and then all of a sudden their careers collapse. Whereas the senior traders who were born in the low volatility conditions, they're always a little bit skeptical of prolonged volatility, always, and it's understandable because that's your recency bias that you have. But what's incredibly exciting is if we do have an offer in equity markets, if we do have fragility, and whenever there's significant suppressed or artificial stability in the market, the life is chaos, life is change, life is VUCA, as Angus Fletcher speaks about, which is volatility, uncertainty, chaos, ambiguity. And because of those elements, anything that's been suppressed, like these low interest rate conditions for a prolonged period of time, there's leakage. And when there's leakage, there's new sample sets, new data sets that no machine, no AI can discount. And that's where the human narrative thinker excels. I mean, we had a great chart at the beginning of the year of all the quant funds really underperforming because the turbulence in the market from an eccentric president was moving the market significantly. And so this next era, and so the traders, going back to the traders are investing in themselves consistently, investing in how they position themselves. If, and this is only an if, because the markets, even in my last 20 years, bar the financial crisis, little COVID episodes, little European debt crisis, are always moving up. It's just the design of this economy. They're always going to take the most innovative companies and put it into the index, and therefore, by default, innovation is always, slanting on the upwards. But if we do get some instability in the financial markets, wow, imagine the traders who made money in Trump 2.0, whilst the equity markets are still making new highs, the AI narrative that's been feeding thick. Imagine all of a sudden we start hitting these optimization traps that actually more compute, all these scaling laws in AI aren't really true. We're reaching a threshold on Elon Musk Grok 4. I'm just speculating here. But all I'm saying is if we do get an equity offer, and that opens up instability, the Federal Reserve, the global central banks have to react. My gosh, it's exciting to be a futures day trader now.